Hi, my name is Jersey J. Vitalisa from BSIT 2A. So in today's discussion, we will be now explaining or we will be now discussing about the laboratory activity number 2 for quiz number 1, which entitled or the title of the said activity is getting an input from the user. So the first thing we will do, or the first step we will do, is to open the compiler, which is the Eclipse compiler, and then create a class. So after creating a class, we will now proceed to run the program. So in this program, we will be using or getting the input from the user using the shadow input dialog and convert string into data type, which is convert into hours, minutes, and seconds. So the first thing we will insert is the word import javax dot swing dot j option pane semicolon followed by the main source code, which is the public class, and then the source code or the main method, which is the public static void main, open parenthesis, string, close parenthesis, arguments. So after we have the main method, which is the public static void main, we will now use a comment, or we will be using a comment as a guide. So in this part, or in the first part, or the first step was I use in this part a comment, which is the two slashes, to indicate the declaration of variables, to declare the value of hours, minutes, and seconds using the variable int or integer. So the next part was again to put the comment as a guide to indicate the word out input, which is to command the compiler to display the name using the show input dialog, and seconds using the command integer that parse int and the show input dialog to display the output. So what is shadow input dialog? So shadow input dialog is a method of J option pane class. With this method, we can prompt the user from input while customizing our dialog window. It is used to show a question message dialog requesting input from the user parented to parent component. In other words, this show input dialog, it is used to set the input value that was selected or input by the user. And an integer that parse int, it function to process a string and return an integers, or so it it the integer that pre is in, it function to turn a string command to an integer. Next part is after we put the input using the shadow input dialog, we will be now putting again or using again the shadow input dialog, and we will be using the executing statement system that out that print line to display the output. So in this part, after we put the two command, which is the shadow input or the input name is equals to j option pane that show input dialog, open parenthesis, sem open parenthesis, quote, enter your name, quote, close parenthesis, semicolon. And then the next is sec is equals to integer that per c int, open parenthesis, j option pane that show in input dialog, open parenthesis, quote, enter seconds, quote, double parenthesis, semicolon. So the next part is the system that out that print line, open parenthesis, quote, your name, quote, plus name, system that out that print line, open parenthesis, quote, enter seconds, quote, plus sec or seconds, close parenthesis, semicolon. And then the last one is the last one to be displayed was the system that out that print line, open parenthesis, quote, slash n or null, quote, the next part of the program was again using a comment as a guide. We will now indicate the word process or the formula of the output or the process of the output or the outcome of our program, which is to display the formula of hours, seconds, and minutes, which is H is equals to seconds, percentage 60, semicolon, minutes is equals to seconds, divide 60, semicolon, seconds, minutes, percentage 60, semicolon, minutes is equals to minutes, divide 60, semicolon. And or to finish our program is the last part we're using again a comment as a guide to indicate the word output for the compiler display the final outcome of the program by using the executing statement, the system that out that print line. So in this part we will use the system that out that print line. So the first input was the system that out that print line, open parenthesis, quote, hello there, quote, plus name, close parenthesis, semicolon. And then system that out that print line, the next part or the net insert is the next part or the next output or the second output that we will show or we will input was the system that out that print line, open parenthesis, code you entered, code plus sec or seconds plus open parenthesis, code seconds, code close parenthesis, semicolon. And then the last one to be printed out was the system that out that print line, open parenthesis, code, the converted time is code plus minutes plus the two dots to indicate plus s plus the two dot again plus hours close parenthesis semicolon. after finishing or after everything, we will now run the program in the for sample given and save it.